playable pieces of art. Made in the USA. Order yours now. MoxieGuitars.com.
Hi everyone, this is Jose from Moxie Guitars. I got Anthony G with me.
Yeah, what's up?
So, Anthony, a couple questions for you.
Yep.
We have AJ Spirit with us right here.
Yep. She's pretty. She's greenish, camo, curvy.
Curvy, nice. You see the back? Show the back, show the back. There you go, nice back.
All right, let me give it, here we go, sneak shot. Ooh.
Nice.
Action shot, I should say.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask you an obvious question. Why do we name this AJ Spirit?
Not a very complicated answer on that. The AJ stands for our first name initials, and Spirit, basically, we're both spiritual people, and that word kind of connected with this model when we happen to be creating it. So that's it. It just stuck. AJ Spirit.
And AJ stands for what?
It's the initials of our first names.
Oh, okay.
Didn't I already say that?
You did.
Then why'd you ask me again?
I don't know. So tell me a little bit about AJ Spirit. Why, if I were to buy this wonderful instrument, why would I want to buy it?
If you were looking at this model, it would be because you're looking for Les Paul type tones. This is sort of our version of a Les Paul. It's basically a Moxie guitar for Les Paul players. I shouldn't say I'm copying Les Pauls, but the configuration's similar. You know, we got the two humbuckers, 2 volumes, and I put it down to 1 tone. I also have a push-pull on the tone that splits these into single coils, so you have more sound options. And then you got your three position switch up here. All the hardware and everything is the hip shot hardware. So the bridges is hip shot, the knobs are hip shot, and our locking tuners that we use. Can you see that? Yeah. And these are the actual hip shot knobs on there. They have the regular knobs, but that's their specialty knobs.
Great, wonderful. So Anthony is the creator, the master of this wonderful creation. So one of the things that I like about this instrument is the sound and the tone that it has. Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, we're using pickups that are custom wound and custom made by John Benson up in New York. And once I heard his pickups years ago, I was searching for the perfect pickup to match what I was trying to build, match the looks of my designs. So when I heard his pickups, I knew they were the sound that I wanted in the Moxie guitars, to be the Moxie sound, you know. This one, you know, being the humbuckers, and we get them wound kind of hot. This one's at I think this one's 10K or 10.5, right. And then this one is 15K. The reason we do this one a lot hotter is so when we split it, the single coil position doesn't sound really weak and tinny. So you still get a nice fat single coil. So if I'm playing this pickup, that's the full humbucker. Here's the... So the gain drops and the volume drops because you're cutting out half the pickup. You know, but you get more Strat type tones that way.
Excellent. All right. So just a couple things in regards to the manufacturer of this AJ Spirit. Tell me a little bit about the wood and why did we choose this wood?
I forget what wood this was. Oh, this is a spalted cherry. If I don't have the specs written in front of me, I don't remember.
That's a trick question.
This one is spalted cherry, and what we wanted to do was we wanted our stock wood to be something different. It wasn't because I thought it sounded any better or felt any better. I just wanted to use something that was known as a really nice solid wood, and it's also very easy to work with in the sense of dust. It doesn't give much sawdust when you work on it. But it's a very hard wood, and it's got some weight to it. So all our guitars, you know, even our Telly type guitars, they have weight like Les Pauls.
Right.
You know, and I believe that helps with the tone. You know, as much as that argument goes. You know, my whole thing is that I could put these pickups in this couch cushion and it would still sound like these pickups. You know, but that's just nonsense. So that's my opinion. It doesn't mean anything. So So cherry wood we got because we wanted to use something different, and every time I tell somebody that we're using it, they kind of perk up,
Right.
Like, oh,
Right.
that's neat.
That's
But we use basswood and poplar and mahogany and black walnut
That's
and
right.
stuff. There's a lot of specialty woods, but our high end models, our custom shop models, usually have cherry. When we do custom builds, depending on what the people want, we'll use something different.
Exactly.
And in our new it's an Econo line, but Econo is the wrong word. We're calling them Moxie Light.
Moxie Light. Moxie
which
Light.
is just going to have less stuff on it, less features, and that's what's going to bring the price down. But we're using a lot of basswood and poplar
Basswood,
for that
poplar,
because the wood's cheaper that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So, not to interrupt you in regards to that.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that we want to do in Moxie guitars is really bring out the woods, right?
Mhm.
The actual texture, a lot of the crevices. I mean, just really a unique feature that makes these instruments look, not only sound fantastic, but look just beautiful. You could see the actual texture in this one, particularly as you feel it. Now, it's very shiny.
Mhm.
It feels very soft. Why is that? Silly question, right?
It feels soft.
Yeah, it does. Feels really nice.
You mean smooth?
Smooth.
Yeah, you don't want soft finishes. Smooth is good. So I was like, if it's soft, something's really wrong. Well, honestly, I don't even remember what clear coat I did on this.
So anyway, yeah.
I really don't.
So this one, I got a feeling that based on what I'm looking at right here, this was actually the hand rubbing thing, clear coating.
Oh, okay. This is so I used the wipe on poly.
Wipe
on
on
this.
poly.
Now the color scheme, the way this came out, I was actually doing a yellow guitar, but anytime you see dark browns and stuff on any Moxie guitar, it's because I use a blowtorch on those, and I do different things when I blowtorch. On this one, I wet sanded the char from the torching, and I leave the sanding
Right.
remnants on
Right.
there, and I put the stain on with that, and I let the stain mix with the sanding, the wet sanding,
Right.
and that's where all these different tones start coming out. So I don't really know what color it's going to turn out to be until it's done. So it's really kind of an experiment.
Right. So these models actually, if anybody orders an AJ Spirit, they'll get the model, the AJ Spirit.
Right.
They'll probably request somewhat of a certain color or
Mhm.
tint.
Mhm.
We just need to let you know that if you want green, it may not be completely green. There may be a variation thereof because of
Right.
how the wood and the burning and the whole nine
Yeah,
yards.
depending on the wood and how
Right.
it absorbs the
Exactly.
stains and the burn marks and the wet sanding, and so we can copy these colors, but it's always going to be a variation of it. You're never going to be able to duplicate it exactly.
Exactly. And then second, the wood texture, the actual wood, it's never going to be the same either. The look will
Right.
not be the same either.
Right, because you very rarely can find, unless you get one piece of a big slab where the
Right.
grain's the same through
Right.
it. But a lot of times
Right.
with guitar builders, we don't get big slabs. So
Right.
yes, I can get cherry wood anytime I want, but it might not be from the same tree.
Right.
You know?
Right. So instead of this being one of those guitars, you have 20 on the wall, and you're buying one of them, they're all going to be different.
Right.
And so that guitar is unique to you.
Mm-hmm.
So when you select that instrument, it's yours pretty much. No one, this will be a set.
Right.
There's another one just like it. I mean, there may be something similar to it, but it'll be unique to you from that standpoint. So there's a uniqueness in that. So let's talk about the necks a little bit. You burn the necks as well. We do that as well, right?
Right.
So, and
There's
talk,
a copy of the.
talk about soft, right? I'm into the soft thing, but anyway, it actually feels great. Tell me a little bit about that. What you do to.
Well,
to
on
get
this
that
one,
feel.
what I did was, you can see here where. Let me raise it.
Yep. Oh,
Here's the
oh,
darker.
I got it.
So I blowtorched this. I blowtorched up here, and then I kind of left it bare here to show off some of the color. I wanted to match the back of the neck to the front. So I left that more bare wood, and I just kind of smoothed it over, and that's why there is some brown tint in
Right.
there, but I didn't actually burn in there.
Right.
So that's a perfect example right there of how it changes. You can see right here, closer to the dark, where you get more browns and greens and yellows, and up here it's more yellow and green, and the browns aren't in there as much.
So another question is, so these are not your traditional type of covers for the electricals. So tell me a little bit about that.
What I like to do is I like to cut them out of wood instead of using the plastic stuff, and then sometimes I match it right to the back. Sometimes I do my own thing or do a different thing, so they're not totally blending in. But this one blended in pretty well.
Right, got you. See that clearly there. That.
And we don't try to hide like the grains and stuff like this. We love seeing that stuff. Basically, the way I look at it is this thing was living at one point, then it got chopped down and killed, and then all we did was put it back together, and now it's living again. So it just needs to go to somebody's home and actually have a life.
Yeah, it does actually. Now, one of the things I like about this guitar is the sound. So
so we have
a demo.
Yeah, we have our neck position, which is going to give you totally your Les Paul smooth sounds. So got sustain in there. Real smooth. You can hear every note, It even has this one kind of, for some reason, we've used these pickups in a lot of guitars.
Right.
This one sounds bluesier than a lot of the other ones to me.
Actually, this one does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's our rhythm pickup. Here's our middle pickup, which is a blend of the two. Which I can honestly say, in my basically 40 years of playing, I think I've played in the middle position on a guitar maybe 5 times.
Okay.
I just never use that position, but maybe in the studio it'll give you a different texture, but live it's either here or here.
Yeah.
So, and then you got your brighter, lead pickup. It's really just it's a hot guitar. This one I wouldn't get this if I was looking for a hardcore rock guitar.
Okay.
It can pull it off.
Yes.
And the amp I'm playing through is not like a metal amp either. You could get it, but this one, I think the beauty is in the bluesiness of this one. I don't know what it is. This one also has a little bit of a darker tone. We use Zozo capacitors, which are used in a lot of amplifiers. I love the way that they sound. They give a much smoother, darker tone, and I play a lot of telly type styles that tend to be thin and tinny.
Yes.
So when I changed it to those capacitors, it smoothed it out for me.
Right.
So if you want to brighten it up, you can just change the capacitors out and get different tones once you find the capacitor you want. But you get all your squeals. Oh, squeals are on. It's very dynamic, and the one thing I can say about these pickups, there's no latency whatsoever from the second that you touch that string and the note that you hear. So it doesn't mess with your timing at all. When you hear it, you've played it. So some guitars, you can hit the string and there's like a millisecond delay from when you hear it, and it messes your timing up.
Right.
I don't find that at all with John Benson's pickups. Can't say enough about these and how he's worked with us to design this set for us.
Right. So all the Moxie guitars have that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. One last question before we leave. So you have these rivets. Everyone's always asking, what's up with the rivets? So what's up with the rivets?
Really, they just look badass.
They do. Actually.
But a long time ago, I had a discussion with Jose that I look at guitars as a fashion thing as well. When we go on stage and everything, we're worried about our outfits, and we wear outfits that will match certain things, or we play guitars that will match certain outfits. So, being in the rock world, where that's where I live. I love the rock world. I just think that looks really, really balls out, and all they are the eyelets that you see on like shoelaces and stuff like that that I just use for decorative purposes. They serve absolutely no purpose except for decorative.
It's wonderful. So sign me up. I want 3 of these.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, Moxie guitars. Definitely, you'll find them. And where do we sell them at?
Reverb.com.
There you go. and also at the shop we have them as well. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more Moxie Guitar videos from Jose and Anthony from Moxie Guitars, coming to you live from the All-Star Music Empire in Flemington, New Jersey. You got to check that place out, man. Hey, peace out.
See ya.